The NBA Cup, the knockout round, it is here, and these are the matchups for the next two nights, right? In the East, you have the Heat and the Magic. You also have the Raptors and the New York Knicks. They play tonight, and then tomorrow, SGA and the Thunder host the Suns. LeBron and the Lakers host the Spurs. Remember, the winners, they booked their ticket to Las Vegas for the semifinals this weekend and a chance to win, but I'm always winning when I am here with my good sis, Chiney Ogwumike. There's a lot of money on the line here, Chiney, so maybe outside of cash, what is one word that you would use to describe this NBA Cup?
The same word I'd use to describe your arms, flex. It is the ultimate flex. All right, it's not the Larry O'Brien trophy, but it is still $514,790. You can flex on your rest of your association with that type of payout. But it's also cool because it doesn't matter who you are. The star players want to earn that money for the benchers, for the role players, because it's game-changing money. It's a good opportunity for them to say, hey, we're taking a step towards a championship. So, yes, it is the ultimate flex.
Yeah, this is not the no-flex zone. This is the flex zone, and Chiney showing off those biceps here. 8 teams left, but only one will become the third ever NBA Cup championship. So here's what are the odds on DraftKings Sportsbook for the winner of the Cup, right? Oklahoma City, of course, they have the odds to win it along with everything else. Then you got the Knicks, the Lakers, the Magic. Monica McNutt, it is a good day when you are in studio with us, sis. When you are watching the Thunder here, are you taking Oklahoma City, or are you looking at the rest of the field for this Cup?
Baby, I think I would be tripping to go against these odds. The Thunder have been so dominant on both sides of the basketball. I mean, all of the teams in the field, you got to lace up and you got to play against them. But when you're just looking at it based on what they've done in their body of work this season, a fresh SGA, I'm going with the Thunder.
Not to mention, I feel like they still may have a little chip on their shoulder because of the last performances we've seen from them in the NBA Cup. Could this be the year they get over the hump? We're going to dive into the NBA Cup much more here throughout the show. But today on ESPN.com, let's visit our senior insider, Shams Charania. He released his latest inside pass, highlighting the trade buzz around the league right now. As we approach that key date of December the 15th, that is when 82 players become eligible to be traded. So let's welcome in our senior insider, Shams Charania now. Shams, you reported that several Eastern Conference contenders, they are preparing to pursue Anthony Davis here. What is Dallas truly weighing, and what could the trade market here look like?
Malika, they're weighing whether to trade Anthony Davis or reach an extension and a commitment on an extension in the offseason, depending on whether Anthony Davis is able to gel with this group, how this team looks over the next few weeks with Cooper Flagg, and a more healthy team. And that's exactly what Mavs interim co-general managers Michael Finley and Matt Riccardi discussed when they met recently with AD's agent Rich Paul at Clutch Sports. My understanding is Paul told them that he wants the Mavs to either commit on an extension in the offseason or trade AD. And so the Mavs will evaluate the next several weeks. There is no question around the league that trade talks to some extent will occur, and 3 Eastern Conference teams that I'm told will emerge as suitors for Anthony Davis are the Pistons, Raptors, and the Atlanta Hawks. You're looking at packages around role players, picks, potentially expiring contracts, and picks. This is someone that spent his entire NBA career in the Western Conference. He's a 10-time All-Star. So clearly there's a group of Eastern Conference contenders viewing him as a game changer to reshape the East.
Interesting. All right, so let's get our front office insider Bobby Marks in here, because we're hearing the Pistons, the Hawks, and the Raptors. So draw it up here, Bobby. What could a trade look like?
Well, I think Detroit is certainly the most interesting team, the best team in the Eastern Conference right now, and they do have all of the assets to go out and make an Anthony Davis trade. Remember, Anthony Davis is making $54 million. We've got to include a big expiring contract, and that certainly starts with Tobias Harris here. And then they've got some of these young players. Jaden Ivey's on an expiring contract. Ron Holland also here. Remember, they all have all their first-round picks to put in a trade. We're not going to do that right now. And when you look at that deal, that works. That's kind of looking like the framework if Detroit wanted to go out and do an Anthony Davis-type trade. But remember, this is, as I said, this is the best team in the Eastern Conference. Do you want to disrupt what you have right now?
Bobby, I want to go into your brain really quick, because you said something that is blowing my mind. This is the best team in the East. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So if you're thinking about AD adding, Jalen Duren's having an amazing year, 19-5. They're already 4th in rebounding percentage, 4th in defense. If you're a GM, why would you make this move?
Well, Anthony Davis is a top 20 player when he's on the court. I think that's the biggest thing. Now, the concern, Chiney, is pairing Davis with Duren, who's a free agent this summer. Then you've got to extend Anthony Davis. Do you want to commit $90 million to those two players in the near future here? That's a big dilemma that you've got to go back. And remember, the trade deadline is not the quarter mark. It's basically you've got 20 games left in the season. It's a big question. Big gamble you've got to ask.
For the benefit of the viewer here, Monica, when Sinead proposed that and saying pairing Duren alongside Anthony Davis, your reaction to that was, yeah, there was a little bit of this going on. Something like Atlanta a little bit more.
I don't want that. Yeah. To me, I think chemistry is so fragile, and unfortunately, Anthony Davis has had an injury history. The Pistons largely have been durable in terms of their core guys, so I don't necessarily love that. If we were going to do this, Atlanta is the team that I've been curious about. They've been hanging out in purgatory, if you will, not terrible, but also not necessarily competing, but they've got athletes, and Anthony Davis, I think, is a better fit there, potentially.
Okay, well, go ahead, Bobby.
I'm sorry. Well, here's Atlanta for you, right here.
Well, let's see.
When you're looking at it, certainly with Anthony Davis, it has to start with the contract of Kristaps Porzingis, who's on an expiring contract. Now, how do you get the money to work, getting up to $45 million? Now you're talking about touching some of your, whether it be a Luke Kennard, some of your minimum players. Now, here's the question. That Pelican pick that they have, that's basically you put it in the vault and you lock it up, and we'll see you in June here. They do have some other draft assets here when you're looking at. They also have a first-round pick from New Orleans or Milwaukee next year, some of their own first. So you could get to a Davis-type deal, but you still have Trae Young on your contract here, who is going to have a player option here. And then it gets back to, do you want to extend Anthony Davis with this group moving forward?
Okay, so it's the Hawks that we're looking at here. It's Detroit as well as the Raptors potentially for Anthony Davis. But that's not the only question that the Mavericks here are going to need to answer, because there's another player that Shams mentioned in his piece right now that's on ESPN.com, and that is four-time champion Klay Thompson. So, Shams, how are the Mavs approaching his situation here?
Look, I'm told the Mavericks will be open to exploring the Klay Thompson market. And Klay Thompson himself, my understanding is, wants to be in a contending situation. He's someone that committed to this Mavericks team in 2024 free agency to join Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving off a team that made it to the NBA Finals. And now Luka Doncic is gone. This is a below 500 team. He himself got off to a slow start, but he has picked it up, 40% shooting in the last 10 games, both ends of the floor. The Mavericks will be entertaining talks between now and the trade deadline.
Okay, so these are questions that they're going to be looking at even before the trade deadline, December 15th, when more players are eligible to be traded. And then, of course, there is the big one, the huge question, and that lies in Milwaukee, where questions, they continue to come up because the Bucks, they have dropped 10 of their last 12 games. Of course, Giannis is sidelined with that calf strain, but the Bucks, they are sliding. And based on your reporting, Shams, there seems like there's a real sense around the league that this next month, it could determine the direction of the entire franchise, right? Centering around Giannis's future. So what are the real pressure points, Shams, inside the organization right now? And how quickly could these conversations escalate if the losses keep piling up?
Wins and losses. That's the nature of the business right now in Milwaukee. Giannis Antetokounmpo wants to play and compete for a second NBA championship. This is a Bucks team right now that's playing and competing for a back-end play-in tournament slot. And so they're 10-15 right now. Conversations are active and open as of last week between Giannis' side, his agent Alex Saratz's, and the Milwaukee Bucks. And my understanding is the locker room can also feel the tension at play here and the harder dialogue that could occur, whether how this team shapes up. The rest of this month, they have 6 of their next 9 games on the road. So this is a tough schedule coming up that the Bucks have. So it'll come down to wins and losses, how this team looks before the February 5th NBA trade deadline.
Okay, and right now there are more losses for the Milwaukee Bucks that are piling up than wins, at least as it stands right now. So, Bobby, we know that Giannis has said in the past that it would make sense he wants to go to New York. So make that work for us.
Well, let's play the hypothetical game. I think it's important first to look at Milwaukee, what they don't have to offer here. Draft picks here. They only have a 2031 or 2032 pick to go out and actually upgrade this roster. They actually don't control their pick until 2031. Wow. So when you're looking at it, if we bring New York in, and this is not cut and dry, because this is a Knicks team that has the second best record in the Eastern Conference here. When you're looking at it, Giannis, and we're putting Kyle Kuzma in the mix here just to get the numbers to work. It certainly has to start with Karl Anthony Towns. Him and Giannis' contract actually work identically, same amount here.
Okay.
We took the signing restriction off Mikal Bridges, who can be traded as of February 1st. And when you look at this deal, remember, New York has no tradable first. This deal works.
Right.
2 core pieces out of this Knicks team. That is a hard decision for that Knicks front office.
Monica McNutt, you cover the Knicks incredibly closely, and our show is on in various TVs around the various New York Knicks facilities here. When they see things like that, is this something that the players, are people talking about this, or is this sort of, okay, we're gonna just see what happens?
People are absolutely talking about
All
it.
right.
And just like Sham said, Milwaukee feels it. New York has felt it. Karl Anthony Towns has voiced how much he enjoys being in New York and is obviously understands the nature of the game. But I think what Bobby said is something that I think about as this could potentially unfold. 2 key pieces in a team that has been building over the last 4 years in terms of chemistry, and they're not bad. On paper, could we look at the various differences between Giannis Antetokounmpo and Karl Anthony Towns? For sure. And I take nothing away from that. But I do think it's not that this team is not performing well this year, and chemistry is very delicate.
Monty, now it's your turn. I want to pick your brain because I think a lot of people, maybe the average NBA fan, would be like, it's Giannis Antetokounmpo, a guy who averaged 30 points per game the last 3 years, 12 rebounds on 60% shooting. Of course, you take a top tier 1 NBA guy. Can you sort of make the case for why maybe you bet on this core for the Knicks?
Well, exactly that. I think anytime, y'all, let's go back into our last few champions, right? The only outlier in terms of add superstar and win a championship was the Toronto Raptors when Kawhi Leonard did.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen in 1 year. And so you're mentioning, just for the exercise, making the case not to do this. You want to make this move in February.
Yep.
You've got, 3 months to really acclimate, right? It's going to cost you not just one of your key pieces, but it's going to cost you another starter.
Right.
That starting unit has been working on this chemistry and the equity that they have for 2 seasons now.
And I will say the other case is maybe that you get Giannis so that you extend your championship window outside of just this year where you're narrow viewed.
Not to mention, what are you looking at? Oh, wait. Oh, that's me bumping my head on the ceiling that is the Oklahoma City Thunder. And that becomes the question kind of again and again. Hey, coming up here, though, Rich Paul, he says that LeBron, he's going to finish the season with the Lakers. After that, things get a little cryptic. So could we see him... All right, the Spurs at the Pelicans, and the rookies took center stage in this one. Number 2 overall pick, Dylan Harper, versus number 13 pick, Derek Queen. And you know what? Slay Queen. Yeah. Dylan Harper, though, knocks down the 3. He played a huge role in this game, but this was Derek Queen's night, Monty.
Yeah, and it's great to see this young man sort of bring in the hard hat to the NBA. A little bit of luck, a little bit of practice, all right there.
Defense leading to offense.
Make him drop by your foot.
Going coast to coast, the one-handed flatter stop.
That's an old school hoop right there.
Doing it all on Monday night. All right, the 4th quarter here, 2 minutes remaining. The Spurs up by 4 here. Harper somehow gets that one to go.
Come on, young fellas.
The kids are going to be all right. And I just love this play right here. A little in and out. Tough finish.
So tough. Gets the bucket to fall.
He loves the
Pelicans
contact.
on that one take a 1-point lead. By the way, 10 seconds remaining here, just over. Spurs down by 1. Who are you going to call? Oh, yeah, Dylan Harper.
Shout out to Dylan Harper answering the bell in his rookie year.
The Spurs have options, y'all. They have options.
Harper, he finished with 22 points off the bench for San Antonio. New Orleans last chance here. Jose Alvarado brings it up, passes it to Queen. That's who you're going to want to take the shot.
It's like the NCAA tournament.
Couldn't quite get it.
Oh, don't do it. Oh, don't do it.
Was wide open, though, for the 3, but can't quite get it to fall. But Queen did become the 5th player in NBA history to record a 30-point triple-double before he can drink, y'all.
I don't understand how these kids are doing it.
Right? He's also
man.
the first rookie to lead both teams outright in points and rebounds, assists, and blocks since some pretty good company. Michael Jordan, right?
Look at that.
Now, Derek, he says to put some respect on the 2025 rookie class. Take a listen.
I think it was on Twitter. Somebody said that next class is going to be better than us or something like that. Well, that's the best class. And we definitely the best class. We have up and down the charts. We gonna be the better class. We have the better players.
All right, well, when he says things like that, we need to check in with our college basketball expert, Sean Farnham. We're hearing Derek Queen saying his class has the better players than this 2026 class. What say you?
Has anybody ever said their draft class isn't good when they're part of it? That would be the first thing. It's not. The depth of this year's class, much better than last year.
Okay.
This was a good class, though.
This was a good class, and we certainly look forward to seeing this one. Potential number 1 overall pick, AJ Debinsa. He is playing in the Jimmy V Classic tonight. You spoke with him earlier this season, so let's just listen back to some of that together.
AJ Debinsa, the number 1 recruit in this dynamic freshman class.
There's a lot of times we give out comparisons, right? You see it every draft process. Someone goes, this guy reminds me of this player. If you were giving out a draft comparison for yourself, who would be the player that you look at?
Tracy McGrady.
Why?
I don't know, like, he just, like, when I first heard it, like, 'cause I never really watched the T-Mac film. When I went back and watched it, I was like, yeah, that kind of thing.
So much hype, so much expectation.
Cooper Flag last year obviously carried a lot of that same expectation that you're dealing with this year. When you watched Cooper in the way that he handled it last year, what did you take away from his experience at Duke and handling the pressure of being the guy that everybody thinks could be the #1 pick in the draft that you think will help you this year?
Yeah, just him playing team basketball. Like, obviously, #1 player entering, protected #1 pick, ended up being #1 pick. A lot of guys thought he was going to do this, do that, shoot everyone one and out. He played the right way, played with his team, ended up getting to the Final Four.
Some comparisons to T-Mac. I know Shanae likes that. That was her favorite player growing up here. But what makes AJ stand out, Sean, from this freshman?
Well, I think it's easy to fall in love with the fact he's 6'8". He has a 40-inch vertical leap, and oh, by the way, shooting 54% from the field. But
Sure.
I think what I'm going to show you here is his IQ and his understanding of space and why it works so well for him. As this play rolls out, you're going to look and you're going to see him sitting there with his hand out saying, wait, wait, wait. On the audio of the game, you could actually hear him telling his point guard to wait. He doesn't want the ball. He wants to get the ball exactly in the position that he does. So he steps in, clears out space, catches the ball in this spot. Now as he starts to put it on the move, this is where that T-Mac comes into play. He likes to spin and get to that center portion, that middle third of the floor. In order for that to happen, what he needs is he needs his point guard to shift away from the ball and move further out. So he tells him, clear out. As he clears out, that's where that 40-inch vertical leap is going to help. He's going to finish up over the top, and he's going to execute extremely well. UConn, again, look at these floors, by the way, NBA floors.
Right.
Okay, so you've got Alex Karaban on. Alex Karaban is an extremely good defensive player that has won a national championship for Coach Hurley. He knows the scouting report means that A.J. DeBanza wants to get the ball right in the middle of the floor. So what happens? A.J. takes him right to that spot. As A.J. gets there, he's going to lift. On that lift, what he's going to see is that this area of the floor is wide open. He's going to spin off, use his versatility, athleticism, finish with his left hand. Those are pro moves in a pro environment by AJ. Here to me is the biggest one, though. It's understanding how to play the game right way. The team basketball mentality you heard him say with Cooper Flag. As this ball gets entered in, there's a couple things I want you to look at. He's the best player on the court. Everybody knows he's going to get the ball. He's double teamed from underneath. So they bring the double team from the big on the baseline side. But I want you to also look at this time. It's 1 minute and 55 seconds. It's a 1-point game. Everybody thinks AJ is the guy that's going to take the shot. But what he reads is that. He reads that the weak side wing defensive player has to crack in, and that means he can throw over the top to the best shooter on the floor, and that's Richie Saunders. He makes the right play in the right moments, bang that three-point shot. They get the victory. They remain a top 10 team. And tonight, another tough challenge for them against Clemson in the Jimmy V Classic.
Making NBA plays on NBA courts. And for you, right now, he is the #1 pick in this draft.
He is the #1 pick for me because of his ceiling and how high he can get to.
Yep.
His floor might be lower than some other players, but his ceiling is as elite as any player in this draft. And for me, that's why he's the #1 pick. And you'll see him on another NBA floor tonight in MSG.
And you have all of the real-time data here. You have been watching these guys play. But Bobby Marks, you actually have been drafting these guys in a previous life. So in your mind, do you agree with Sean? Is AJ the #1 pick here?
I will tend to disagree right now. And it's not just based off this one play we're going to show you. I think there's a 6'9" forward down at Duke who's been pretty good so far. This is the Florida game last week. 16 seconds left. Duke up 1. Watch Cameron Boozer up top. Switch on Boogie Flan, who had just hit a 3. And then shift over and basically pick up Flan again. Turnover right here. End of game. Ball game here. What NBA executives like. 7'1" wingspan. The ability to guard smaller defenders here right now. We still got a long way to go. 23-10 so far for an undefeated Duke team.
How's Cam being viewed here?
I think Cam is very much so in this mix, all right? We heard Darren say, hey, I've got a little Devin Booker in me. We got a little T-Mac here. If you want a comp for here, how about Kevin Love?
Sure.
The versatility, the ability to shoot from the outside, an excellent passer. The concern I have for him, again, his floor, best floor in this entire draft. He's the most polished freshman in college basketball. His ceiling, though, is a little bit lower than those two guys
Interesting.
over on that side because of the lack of athleticism that he has. He's not going to be able to overpower. He overpowers a lot of players in college. I wonder if that's going to translate and overpower at the same level that we're seeing in college at the NBA level.
It's the depth of this draft class. I'm really interested to see how this plays out.
By the way, saying he's Kevin Love is not a slight.
Right, as we march towards June here. But it is V Week at ESPN when we highlight the urgent need for cancer research. And thanks to Principal Foundation's generosity, you can double your impact. They are matching up to $1 million in donations during V Week. So if you're able, please visit v.org/donate. And 100% of your donations go directly.
Stop tripping on me, stop dissing on me. I got a dream, can't take it from me.
A little bit more is at stake. That's what this league is about, competing against the best in the world.
What a block! Brunson penetrates and scores. And the foul.
Resilient. We just keep on going. Time to go get some money.
Here's Ingram. Brandon Ingram.
The NBA Cup quarterfinals are going to be north of the border tonight as the Knicks face the Raptors. Toronto had a blazing start to the season, but they've come back down to earth a little bit. But they will look toward Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes, both averaging over 20 a game here for the Raptors. And then for New York, Jalen Brunson, he's been heating up recently. He's averaging almost 30 points a game in his last three. By the way, all of those were Knicks wins. So joining us now is our reporter in Toronto, Vincent Goodwill. So the Knicks, they currently have the third-ranked offense in the NBA, but Karl Anthony Towns, his status still up in the air here, Vinny. How are they looking ahead of this matchup against the Raptors?
Well, one of the reasons, not just for the Raptors, but throughout the season, Malika, is how do we get offense initiated besides Jalen Brunson? Enter Mikal Bridges. So far this season, averaging nearly 5 assists a game. We talked to him about the other night, and he said, you know what? I've watched Rajon Rondo and Chris Paul and Devin Booker navigate offenses. It's always been something I wanted to do, and now he's getting the opportunity to initiate offense and make that offense a lot more dynamic with or without Karl Towns.
So do we know yet what the decision will be, Vinny, for Karl Anthony Towns in this game? What are the Knicks weighing here?
Well, I think they're weighing with the left calf tightness. That's always one of those tricky injuries that you wind up hearing about because you don't want it to turn into something else. He's a game time decision. I tend to believe it's not going to be something that is lingering or long lasting. In the meantime, Mitchell Robinson, who the Knicks have been waiting on for such a long time throughout the course of his career to be that impactful player night after night, health-wise and everything else. He played 25 minutes the other night, and that's a huge thing. It does not seem like a big thing, but they've tried to keep him in that 15 to 18-minute range. The fact that they played him 25 minutes against the Orlando Magic shows that they're ramping him up, shows that his conditioning is getting there, and sooner or later, we're going to have to actually see if Towns and Mitchell Robinson and Brunson and all these guys are championship caliber the way that they've been sold from the moment that they hired Mike Brown this offseason.
Okay, so for now, we're going to have to wait and see whether or not Karl Anthony Towns will be on the floor tonight for the New York Knicks. Vincent Goodwill, thank you so much for your time. Let's send it over to the floor, to the court, though, with my good sis, Janae Agumake and Monica McNutt.
Oh, yes, we are rolling deep today because just like my good sis is working courtside in Madison Square Garden. The New York Knicks, they're sitting pretty right now, just like you. Second in the East behind an improved offense. Now, what has been the change? I know you know this, but not the rest of America. It's been player movement. Pace is how fast you play, right, guys? But this is different. The Knicks last year were 26 when it comes to movement on offense. This year, they're in the top 10. And I have a perfect song for that, and I believe it's also a perfect time to go into this with a little bit of court vision. When I move, you move. And just like that, the New York Knicks have a top 3 offense in the NBA. And this is a perfect play to show you why. It's because of player movement. I want you guys to check it out from my point of view. Beautiful movement on the backside. Watch Jalen Brunson drift over to the corner. Beautiful pass by Mikal Bridges. This is where 2 important things happen. 1, Jalen Brunson, of course, is going to get into his bag. But 2, Karl Anthony Towns is going to draw multiple defenders into the paint. That forces a decision to be made on the backside by Derek White. Am I going to stay home and guard Mikal Bridges, or I'm going to go out there and guard Josh Hart? Well, Bridges shoots 47% from corner 3, so he stays home. Beautiful pass, from good to great possession. Josh Hart knocks it down. That is the difference from last year to this year. They are not stagnant. The New York Knicks are in motion. All right, it's time to get back to the breakdown. So, Monica, I crunched the numbers, and obviously we went to a whole different dimension.
Yep.
Am I telling the truth?
You're telling the truth. You're preaching a little bit, and I will tell you that too. Now, I would just add to that. Part of what you're saying in terms of player movement is the focusing on what Mike Brown calls sprays to get to three-point opportunities. So here's the movement you're talking about. You got screen, you got different folks initiating the offense. Jalen Brunson's usage is still up, but his opportunities in catch and shoot are also up as well, and his dribbles are actually down a little bit this season.
Amen.
Here's a corner three. Knicks happen to lead the league in corner threes with like 5.2 per game. Not to mention, that guy, Josh Hart, is shooting the ball crazy in the month of November. Something like 38% from the three-point line, so he's been rolling.
And what does Shanae always say, right? Styles, they make what, Shanae?
They make some fights, girl.
Yeah, they do, and that's something that we're going to be keeping an eye on here in this one, because as Monica knows, the Knicks are the 5th best three-point shooting team in the league by percentage, but Toronto, they hold teams to the 3rd lowest shooting percentage on three, so that's something to keep an eye on. Exactly, in this Cup matchup. This was just fun. In case you missed it, Jalen Brunson, of course, remember when he received 27 votes in the New York mayoral election back in November? Well, we finally got Brunson's concession. Not really, but here's his reaction.
I did see that.
Would you consider running for mayor ever again?
At this point in my life, no. I would not consider.
Did you have a platform or anything? Or no? I want to go down this route.
I'm just going to focus on a little bit of basketball.
I'm actually a little more surprised that I was only 27. So maybe he should run, when he retires, Yeah, probably not, but, it'd be funny to see.
Mayor-elect Brunson.
That's
well, not
funny.
really. He wasn't elected. And the Knicks, they're going to host the Cavs at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. And then the Spurs, the Thunder, the Mavs, the Warriors, the Rockets, the Lakers on Christmas Day. Of course, the nightcap is the Timberwolves and the Suns. 5 of the best gifts that anyone could ask for. Hey, to some NBA news now. The NBA fined Desmond Bane $35,000, right, for throwing a ball at OG Anunoby. He chucked it at him.
I didn't know if I could laugh.
We are not playing dodgeball.
What is you doing,
What are we doing?
And OG's like, did you see that?
He was going
bro,
for
what's
the
your problem?
out-of-bounds call, right? But he was already out of bounds.
100%. Like, not to mention, just catch the ball and go the other way.
Those things stay in your head. They don't come in real life.
Bane's a friend of the show. He did get a technical foul for that play, though. The Magic, they're going to get another shot. They visit the Heat tonight, a little Sunshine State rivalry game, and the winner goes to Vegas, baby. Paolo Banchero will lead the Magic. They're without Franz Wagner as he recovers from that high ankle sprain. But Bam Adebayo, he's looking to snap Miami's 3-game losing streak. Our Mark Spears caught up with Bam recently for Anscape.
Bam Adebayo is a 3-time NBA All-Star and an Olympic gold medalist. But now in his 9th season, a 28-year-old Adebayo can finally truly say he is the face of Heat culture.
I'm the one in the driver's seat. And obviously that's a big responsibility, it's a big ask, but if they didn't believe in me, they wouldn't put me in this seat.
Start our day off right. Come on, let's work. Shoot that, crash. Good week, boy.
God has put me in this seat for a reason. I've been patient being in this seat because there's been a lot of ups and downs.
Blocked at the rim by Adebayo. The Heat stars in recent years have had different personalities. Jimmy Butler was a passionate leader and star who led the Heat to 2 finals. The Hall of Famer Wade was the most heralded player in Heat history. And Udonis Haslem defined Heat culture with 20 seasons in his native Miami. So what makes Bam, Bam?
I'm the more passionate leader. It's like you gotta come with the passion every day. Like every single day, we're in here to work, we're in there to do our job, and then we leave and go home. We don't work a 9 to 5. That's one thing for me as a leader. I don't want it to feel like. We play basketball, we entertain, we go out there, we hoop, we have fun. We still gotta regain that kid love again.
Bam to Tyler, he'll step into a 3. Got it.
With Adebayo, sharpshooter Tyler Hero, and newcomer Norman Powell, the Heat's new OG has big dreams for his team.
Man, people gonna call us crazy, but I think we're a contender. Speaking stuff to existence, like that matters. Like manifesting things, that matters. Like being able to just dream about that, write it down, and keep looking at that, that goes a long way. I think we're a contender when we're fully healthy.
A win over Orlando on Tuesday will send the Heat to Las Vegas for the semis of the NBA Cup. Las Vegas is also the home of four-time WNBA MVP A'ja Wilson, who just happens to be Bam's longtime girlfriend.
It's funny because our leadership roles are kind of the same.
Look at that block.
You know, everybody expects to hear our voices, but I feel like she gives herself grace a lot more than I do. You know, me, if something's not going right, I'm gonna beat my head in until 4 in the morning, trying to figure out what's wrong, what am I doing wrong, how do I fix it? And being with her, she's helped me give myself grace, kind of heal my mind a little bit, and then how do we conquer this?
That was so sweet. Don't you just love Bam and A'ja?
Yeah! This is the real slay queen of the show.
This came out today.
No
A'ja
facts.
Wilson, Times 2025 Athlete of the Year. She won her 4th MVP. She was named coach. T-Mac, in Shanae's childhood, made history on the stage. It was 21 years ago. 13 points in 33 seconds. It's the most in the final 35 seconds of a game since at least 97-98. He made 4 threes and 1 free throw during that stretch. So it got us thinking, can our excellent analysts, our former ballers, replicate T-Mac's incredible performance? We're talking about a #1 pick, a WNBA All-Star.
Why are you doing that to set this up?
That's a 1,000-point score we got in Monica McNutt for
I
Georgetown.
put my flats on. Let's see.
All right, you averaged 2 threes, Monica. So can we please have 33 seconds on the clock?
This me first?
And see how this is going to go. Ready, and let's go.
I don't even think I can get this range right now.
I'm Yao Ming. I'm just.
Okay, there's one.
For the rebound.
Damn, not even. Oops, sorry, language.
Oh my
Rebounders, hurry!
Bro, what?
Let's go. You got 1. Come on.
Damn.
Come on.
Give me that. Come on.
This is so
Rebound,
bad.
pass.
What? Ain't one of these shots not a 3? Hold on,
Hey,
let me get the layup.
come on now,
Here's the
Shanae.
layup.
There we
Here's the
go.
layup.
That's 2?
I'm trying to get 1.
Girl,
He's got it. We need 1, Shanae. Come on.
I believe in
You
you.
got it.
That's it.
No,
man.
no friendly
That's
bounce
it.
here.
Oh,
Is that time?
Lord, that is time. Oh, sorry.
Hey,
Oh, you didn't get the friendly roll.
I got the layup.
Now, see how difficult that was?
I got the layup.
All right, let's get back to the current ballers while I catch my breath here.
So funny.
The Lakers and the Spurs, they face off tomorrow night in their NBA Cup knockout round. Monica and Shanae, y'all are good sports. LeBron is coming off his best game of the season, better than what we just saw, finishing with the season-high 29 points in the win against the Sixers. Now, the CEO of Clutch Sports and the longtime agent of LeBron's spoke on his new podcast about LeBron's future in LA. Take a listen to Rich Paul.
Is LeBron realistically a guy who could not be on the Lakers at the end of this year?
No.
He will be on the Lakers at the end of this year.
Yeah, where's he going to go?
I mean, there are New York comes to mind. You know, I don't think the Knicks can win a championship as currently constructed
Does LeBron
either.
make the
because
Knicks
Brunson's
better?
too small.
Yes.
Yeah.
He would, of
Yeah.
course. But 29 other teams would say the same thing. Like, I personally don't think the Lakers are good enough to be contenders right now. Not right now.
When you say contenders, what do you mean?
I don't think they have enough to get to the Western Conference final. I don't think they have enough to get to really contend.
All right, Bobby, what stood out to you the most there?
Well, first of all, I didn't even shoot, and I'm already out of breath. I think the last line, as far as the Lakers are not contenders right now, nobody is in the Oklahoma City territory where they are. Thunder are in a different level right now. But when I do look at the Western Conference, whether it be Houston, Denver, San Antonio, I think certainly a 17-6 Laker team we could put up there as far as a team that potentially could reach the Western Conference.
Of course, LeBron does have a no-trade clause here, so it seems that anything that would have to happen with LeBron, it just doesn't seem all that likely that he's going anywhere besides Los Angeles.
No, and I think today's show in general, the trade conversations, LeBron conversations, I am reminded of the humanity of these athletes too. Like at this point in his life, LA is where his family is, where his businesses are. Like,
Yeah, and just appreciate what you have where you're at. And, you know, that was a big move to come here, and he's established.
Yeah.
And we're still getting some of the amazing fruits of his labor, so I think it's good here.
And to me, you know, the question is what stood out the most. I think it is interesting that Rich is saying that he does not believe that the Los Angeles Lakers are good enough right now. They are number 2 in the West. At least right now, the West has been so fluid. There is a clear, though, delineation between that number 2 spot and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Really the rest of the league here. Hey, coming up on NBA Today, what about Vince Carter, Michael Jordan, or how about Carmelo Anthony? With